Hello, and welcome to my Nuzlocke run of Pokemon Emerald. If you don't know what a Nuzlocke is, basically you can only catch the first Pokemon in each new area, and if the Pokemon faints in battle, it is considered dead. Now there's going to be other rules I add to this challenge run. I'm going to put those in the description. What's special about this Nuzlocke is that it's a ROM hack made by Nuzlocke Pokemon Challenges, where he took out all the good Pokemon and replaced them with garbage. So with that all out of the way, let's get to the run. So the first important decision we gotta make here is our starter. We could pick from Slugma, Sunkern, and Goldeen. I normally think Sunkern is the best choice here because it gets grass moves really early and that helps a lot with Roxanne. But I opted for Goldeen this run, despite the fact it doesn't get water moves until level 30 something. I thought it would make for an interesting run, since it would lead to an easier rival too, because Grovyle is an easier Pokemon for me to counter than Combuskin with the kind of Pokemon I'm getting here. And also I thought it would lead to a bit more of an interesting Roxanne fight. Another interesting thing about Goldeen is that it has an easier Rival 1 fight than any of the other starters. This is not a big deal, but it is nice that Goldeen can clear this fight with Peck, whereas Slugma will need to actually grind to get Smog, and Sunkern needs to grind in order to be able to kill Torchic with a Grass move. The first couple of encounters I got are Sentret, Ladybug, and Poochyena. Now, even by Trashlocke standards, I'm not very happy with these encounters. I would have much preferred Zigzagoon or Rattata over Sentret. Poochyena can be decent against Roxanne and does have some use later in the game, but I would have rather had Sandshrew or Hoppy. And Ladybug? Fuck Ladybug! I also encounter a Weedle later on. I would have preferred Spinarak or Venonat for Brawly, but I think the Weedle could work. Oh shit. I just realized I forgot to buy antidotes. And losing one of my Roxanne answers to poison before getting to Roxanne is on to run 2. This time I opt for Sunkern just because I just need the easy Roxanne counter. I also get some much better encounters here, like Zigzagoon, and also Sandshrew, who is great for Watson. That said, I did get another fucking Ladybug. God damn it. I also got another Weedle, which, I also get an Unknown, which is gonna fall off pretty quick, and this one also has Hidden Power Fire. Maybe I can use this against Watson. Maybe. My last encounter before Roxanne is Togepi, which does get some good support moves, mainly Encore. That's a really good move. So now we move on to the Roxanne fight, which there really isn't too much to say here because Sunkern just kind of wrecks these Geodudes. And it should be able to deal with this Nose Pass because Nose Pass doesn't really deal a lot of damage. Okay, that was a lot of damage. Jesus, Sunkern is more frail than I thought. But fortunately for me, this Nose Pass for some reason keeps going for Tackle afterwards. So it just dies. And we get the first gym badge. After beating Roxanne, we head over to Dewford and get our Guaranteed Love Disc encounter. This is a notoriously shitty Pokemon, but Here it's actually going to have value as like the only water type move we're going to have for a while. I also get a Dunsparce in Granite Cave, which I would have rather had Rattata or Paras, but Dunsparce does get Glare, and I think that is pretty useful against Watson. So I'm actually kind of concerned with this upcoming Brawly fight, because my two fighting resistances are Beedrill and Ladian. Ladian just sucks, and Beedrill's strongest move is Fury Attack, which is a physical move, and these guys set up Bulk Up, and also Fury Attack is just really weak. I was able to take out the Machop with very few problems, and the Meditite is just free because its only attacking move is Focus Punch, so I just took this opportunity to use up all of Brawly's potions on this Meditite, so that way Makuhita does not get any healing. After killing the Meditite, Brawly sends out his Makuhita, and as I thought, Fury Attack does not do that much damage to Makuhita, especially as it starts setting up Bulk Up. After a third Bulk Up, Beedrill's just not doing enough damage to Makuhita, while Makuhita's actually able to do respectable damage, even through a ×4 resistance. I eventually do swap out Beedrill, since I do think it would be useful against Watson, and I swap in Ladian since I have no use for it. To my surprise, Ladian was able to land 2 Supersonics, 55% accuracy by the way, and was able to chip Makuhita down enough into the red before it died. That was enough damage for Sunkern to come in and kill this Makuhita with Mega Drain, nabbing me the second Gym Badge. After defeating Brawly, I head over to Slateport to get my next encounter, which is a Seedot. I think this is a pretty useful encounter. Grass and Dark has some pretty good matchups in some of the later fights. We then move on to Rival 2, which can be a tough fight, but I got a plan for this. So first things first, I burst down this Wingull with Linoon. Then once Combuskin comes out, we then swap out Linoon for Togetic. That way we can encore one of Combuskin's moves, which in this case was Ember. After locking Combuskin into Ember, I swapped to Lupdisc, who then surprised me on how well it's handled Combuskin. Ooh, Lupdisc popping off! Damn, Lupdisc! After Lupdisc annihilated Combuskin, I just used Beedrill to smack Lombre silly, and that's Rival 2. Easy. Our last encounter before Watson is a Butterfree, which actually is pretty good. It gets Compound Eyes and Triple Powder, so I would say it's pretty solid. And now I'm up to the fight that I have been dreading for this entire run. Watson. To understand why I find Watson to be so scary, let's look at his team. First, we have the Voltorb with Self-Destruct. That, if you don't kill this Voltorb fast enough, it could end up either heavily damaging one of your Pokemon, if not outright killing it. Then you have his ace, Manectric, who on top of having good special attack, also knows how, so he can set up his physical attack and hit you with pretty hard-hitting quick attacks on top of Stab Shockwave. There's also the issue that a good portion of his team have static, which means your contact moves becomes riskier because you're risking paralysis. And then there's the most difficult part of this entire fight, Magneton. The biggest issue with Magneton is that by being a Steel type and also having decent defensive stats, that most of your Pokemon by this point just can't really do that much damage to it. Also, Magneton has a massive 120 base special attack, meaning that those stab shockwaves will be dealing a lot of damage. And even if you have a Pokemon that's immune to it, like Sandslash, it has Sonic Boom for that, which deals a flat 20 damage. I did have an initial plan that was pretty out there. See, while I was checking my Pokemon's IVs through PKHex, I noticed my Beedrill's hidden power type was ground, and it was base 50 power. So, if I was able to teach my Beedrill hidden power, it definitely could have swept Watson. And then when I noticed that you could get the hidden power TM in Slateport, I got really excited that I was actually going to be able to sweep Watson. Except the shopkeeper that sells hidden power only appears until after you get secret power, which is after Watson. Yeah, it sucks. My only real strategy was equip cherry berries on everybody and then try to paralyze Magneton and hope for the best. I lead with Linoon and actually end up getting a clutch headbutt against Watson's Voltorb, which allows me to quickly take it out with no deaths. I then quickly take out the Electrike with my Beedrill. Now Watson decides to send out his beefy-ass Magneton. I switch in Dunsparce in order to get a glare off against Magneton, but then Magneton gets a nasty critical hit against Dunsparce, so I have to sack it in order to get a glare off. I then switch in Unknown to try to get some damage off with Hidden Power Fire, but of course Unknown just kind of sucks, and I end up just having to sack it, and Magneton still ends up being healthy, so I switch in Sandslash to hopefully finish it off. But after Sandslash gets confused, I decide it's not worth the self-hit damage and potential Sonic Boom, so I switch in Beedrill. But in that time, Watson heals his Magneton back up. Fortunately, Magneton just mainly spammed Thunder Wave, so Beedrill was able to finish off Magneton with Rock Smash. From here, Sandslash is able to duel Watson's Manectric with ease and win me the Dynamo badge. I do think losing Dunsparce here kind of sucks because I think he does have good use against Flannery, but otherwise I would say this was a pretty clean Watson fight. If you think I could have done better on this fight, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like, and maybe subscribe so you can tune in to more Nuzlocke content and more gameplay videos. Thank you for watching.